We kind of decided without knowing how it was going to work out and how we're going to move forward.
Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome to another day at the Knorps. We are right now headed over to our little house. If you have been following along, you would know that 6 months ago,
About 6 months ago.
we bought a little house in town, which is where we've always wanted to live, with the idea that we would renovate it and move in eventually. And we have been all over the map in those 6 months of what we were going to do with it as far as renovations. And we got an architect and they designed 2 different beautiful houses for us. I mean, they were similar, but and then the lockdown happened in March, right?
Correct.
And at that point we just put everything on hold, and by March we had started to just feel like it had gotten away from us. We just didn't.
Well, as far as size.
Yeah, it was getting so big, and they were saying we'd have to tear down the
budget.
house, and it was going to be way more than we had ever wanted. The whole point was to have a simple house, and I guess, not a minimal house, but a house that was sweet and wasn't huge, even though we have a really big family. And then we thought, well, maybe we have to have it. Anyways. And we were actually kind of grateful in March that we could just put it all on pause. Meanwhile, back at our rental, we just fell in love with the rental. We were so grateful for the woods that it backs up to and the property and just the privacy. And we've just been it's just been a total heaven for us through this whole thing. We felt really grateful that if we couldn't go anywhere, we could be there. And so in those, 2 months now? Almost 3?
Almost 3 months.
We've also then been all over the map on what we were going to do with the little house and this house that we're in. We've thought maybe we should just buy the rental, and maybe we should.
It was on sale before we rented it.
Yeah, it was
we don't
for
really
sale
know,
or lease,
Yeah.
Maybe when our lease is up, we buy the rental. Maybe we sell our little house. Maybe we rent our little house. And we have truly spent a lot of time in all of those options and trying to figure things out. And I'm not saying we've made our final decision, but right now we've kind of circled back to the very beginning of what we wanted from this house. Because here's another thing I'll add in. Mike and I have we love doing things on our own, bit by bit. One of our desires when we first started this thing is that we would do a lot of the work on the house ourselves, but that got away from us real quick because local builders didn't really want to do that.
Well, when it's a total huge renovation up front,
Yeah.
most builders don't want to do that.
They just want to do it and get it done, and yeah.
As far as contractors go.
And so, but I've been watching a lot of things and just feeling jealous. And for me,
Wait, you need to explain why you're feeling jealous.
well, I'll tell you. First, I want to say that when you feel jealous of something, you shouldn't just feel guilty or whatever, or give in to the jealousy. I think it should be like a little bell in your head that says, wait, why do you feel jealous? Not like you shouldn't, but there's obviously something that they are doing that you wish that you could do too. And is there any way for you to work that into your life? And so I was watching all of these people who have these simple homes that they are just slowly painting or slowly renovating. Kids are calling. So anyways, and I wanted, one of the things that I wasn't happy with either having the architect build us this big, beautiful house or buying the rental that we're in was that you didn't get to tinker and play. My dream house, and Mike, you can say what your dream house is because people are going to be like, well, what about Mike? My dream house is the burrow from Harry Potter where the Weasleys live. I want a house that is kind of hodgepodgey and got a lot of texture to it, and it isn't perfect. I do not like perfect houses. And so we were trying to work with the architect to make sure that the house wasn't perfect and had a lot of texture.
Well, yeah, I mean, perfect as in like everything matches and like it's all
yeah,
like,
and I even
pristine.
and like I've even seen architects work into houses like crooked hallways and stuff. Like I love that sort of thing, right?
We've already got that.
Yeah. Anyways, and so I just was like, oh, so I'm gonna take, like, if we bought our rental, it's perfect, the house. Am I really gonna like spend a ton of money to like have it feel not perfect? That doesn't make much sense either. And so we were kind of like, anyways, right now we're driving over to the house and thinking, what if we just like oh wait,
Whoa,
what
are
is
you like the Joker now or something?
yeah, I know, that sounded really weird. First, what's your dream house?
Well, my it's not so much design as it is like I like the idea of slowly doing something or work in your house, because then you can do it out of pocket instead of
Like a construction
going
loan.
into debt to do everything all at once. Like it can be a slower process and you just sort of work on it as you have the budget to do so. And so that's really what intrigues me about what we're talking about. So that's what I want to do.
And also, like, we both felt a little bit stressed that, like, once you build a house and it's like supposedly perfect, you built it with an architect, you made all these choices, you're not supposed to then keep toying with it in a lot of ways. We felt like this pressure, like, well, so then I can't play with my house after that. So right now, the reason I laughed is because it does sound crazy. But we thought, what if we just, like, we haven't talked to him yet, but what if we talked to the leasing agent and said, can we try to find somebody to take over our rental earlier, and we just fix this up enough and we moved into this tiny house. Now we would have to wait until Elijah and Daniel were both gone again.
I don't, it would take that, it would
Yeah, we would.
It'll be well beyond that.
They're leaving in 29 days.
Well, we think.
Yeah.
We're not sure about Daniel. That
Unless
might be
the world
pushed
is
back.
falling apart again. But 20, that's about when they're leaving. And so in a month, and then we just move in. We put the girls in one room and the boys in another.
And then obviously you and I.
And then we just start working on little projects. You guys can, I don't know if you can tell, but like we love doing that. And some people are like, oh, how do you have the energy? It's like, well, those things actually energize us. Some things drain us, some things energize us. Everybody's that way. And tinkering energizes us. We like change. We like tinkering. We like just doing stuff. So anyways, that's where we're at right now. First of all, look at those beautiful hydrangeas. So pretty. You need some help?
This is for the boys.
Okay. So it's kind of insane. The boys have been over here. Andrew and Elijah, now Daniel couldn't because he's already in the MTC, but they're going to go visit some friends at their summer camp. And we said we would pay for them to have a plane ticket if they would help out at the house. So that's what they've been doing. And they've been taping it up and getting it ready to be painted. Obviously, we did this for that party. We'd be painting all of everything. And we'd be putting flooring in here. And all that good stuff. Oh, you're already painting. I didn't realize. Awesome. Oh, all the baseboards have been painted. Good job, guys. Cool. So we would have probably the girls in here. And I'm thinking the boys in here, it's the biggest bedroom, and there would be, I don't know though, we might need it because we also need an office. And then there's another bedroom right here. It has a really big closet. And it has a half bath attached. And that's one of the things we would have to change is we need 2 full bathrooms. So we would have to have 2 family bathrooms. So we think we would, before we could move in, we'd have to expand this bathroom into here. And then maybe have a door from the hallway to another bathroom for everybody. Because 1.5 is not enough for 9 people. So it's tiny. Another thing that I would really like to do before we move in is remove this wall and that wall, because that one, it is load bearing though, but it would make such a huge difference in the living space if it were gone. So we're gonna have a framer come talk to us about what that would cost to take out this wall, and then these. So this is just one big open living space. We're just walking around talking about how we would fit all the kids in. And Mike just talked to the leasing agent of our current house rental, and she said she'd talk to the owner.
Well, she said she'd see if the owners are up for it, and if they are, she would just list it, and then obviously we're responsible until they can find someone to take it over, but they can list it.
And then what we thought about, I'll show you. Let's go in. We just talked about Mike building a loft bunk for Andrew with his desk underneath, and then a triple bunk for the rest of the boys so that we have rooms for more desks and dressers. And then for the girls, the same sort of thing, a triple bunk right here. So maybe with some shelving so they have their little personal space, and then some desks and things. It's not a big bedroom, but the wide angle definitely makes it look smaller. Then this would be the family bathroom for now. And then while we worked on it, the smallest bedroom would be ours, which makes sense. I don't need a large bedroom. And it has this little half bath. And it would stay like this for now until we figured that out. So yeah, it would definitely be a different way of living. It wouldn't be the way we're living right now, but it would be more like the way we lived when we traveled. When you're staying in Airbnbs, they're not typically very big. And then we lived in an RV for a year with all 11 of us. So this would be only 9 of us. So, and then we would start working on it. We would add stuff. We would add a workspace or a garage. We would add extra living space, a second floor, and just do it on our own time, on our own dollar, and on our own terms. So we really like that. Another thing we'd want to add really, really quickly would be outdoor living space, so that we could spend a lot of time outdoors. It's a beautiful backyard. It's just glorious back here. It's a half acre, and it has these old, beautiful trees. And we could add living space. We could have our RV here. So that's where we're at right now.
Okay, we're back home again. Megan is working on dinner, which is what, Megan?
Like sweet potatoes with like some chicken sausage, maybe some salad.
Neve's happy about that. Meanwhile, the girls, Esther and Pearl, have been working on some fun hair projects.
Esther dyed her hair a couple weeks ago.
So Esther's been dyeing her hair.
Yep.
It's gone through a few different colors, it seems like.
Just 2 colors.
Just 2?
Yeah.
I guess I'm not paying attention. Well, you bleached it first, right?
Yeah.
And then dyed it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got like I don't know what
Well,
color
so
that
this
is.
is my second color. I was trying to go for more like a pinkish color. But my first color was like teal, and it was faded teal, but it messed with the dye, so it turned out like a orangey,
Yeah.
brown, I don't know, dark maroon looking color. So yeah, I'm gonna fix it up tomorrow with some pink. Hopefully that'll fix it.
Okay.
But I did Pearl's hair
Well, we got
today.
Pearls too. So let's see what Pearl's got going on. They did this sort of like
So it's called
secret color. Whoa.
It's called like a peekaboo color.
So if your hair's just down, here, let's put your hair down again.
You can barely see it.
It's like it's not there, but then
Peekaboo!
there it is. That's pretty cool. So it only shows up if you want to show it, I guess. Is that the idea?
And then when you put it up and stuff, it's really cool.
What's that?
Like if she wears like a ponytail, or I mean like a bun, I guess. Like, let's see.
If you, like, kinda wrap it
you'll
around.
Be able to see the color.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Under.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah. Let's see.
Nice.
Well, nice
That's
to
cool.
put in a ponytail.
So they're having fun coloring their hair. Eve, what have you been working on? You've been making some little books. This is one of Eve's favorite things to do, is to take paper. Yes. Ames. And Jude?
Yeah.
So you made books for everybody?
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Wow.
Very nice. So while they're doing that, Daniel is still doing his stuff. He's been really getting to know the members of his district and forming some good friendships there over the interwebs. Megan has more projects, or we do, I should say. This is our kind of the most recent one. So we just brought this inside from the garage.
Oh, I should put a table.
Whoa!
It's gonna have a shelf and more papers on the way.
So this used to be like super reddish, right? Before.
Red, and then somebody tried to paint it black, but they only got halfway through it.
Oh.
So you sprayed it white, and then I came in with the green, and then some brown glaze.
But this is the original hardware, which is actually super cool. But they had painted it black
Yeah.
before.
Sad.
And Megan took the paint off, and it looks really cool.
Yeah. So I like it. I still need to wax it, which
Yep.
I might do later tonight.
We found it's easier to do that in a climate-controlled environment, right? Not in the garage.
With the heat these days,
The
like
heat and
the
humidity
wax
messes
just-
it up.
Yeah.
This is a cool piece.
I know, it's
Should
really
be fun.
pretty.
Andrew is our assigned dishes person, so he's working on that. What else has been going on?
I'm just thinking about how can all of this fit into 1/4 of the size.
No.
In here. How it could, you know.
I think Megan and I are both kind of freaking out a little bit about the possibility of moving to a little teeny tiny house when we're used to kind of a bigger house.
Yep.
It'll be a different way of living.
Experience, yeah.
So this still isn't like for sure. We haven't decided, but
Just you gotta dip your toe in and kind of like wear it around for
about-
a while. That was a mixing two
dip
metaphors.
your toe in
You gotta
and wear
put
it
it
around.
on and wear it around for a while.
Yeah. But I kind of figured since we lived in an RV, which was a little over 400 square feet for a
Little
year
Irish cottage,
with 11 of us,
tiny
we can
apartments in
probably
New York.
live in a smaller house for a little while we work on it and expand it and improve on it.
And a tiny house in France.
And we
Oh, a tiny
well,
house
the
in
house
France.
Megan was talking about all the little houses we lived in while we traveled. Asher said we lived in a tiny house in France. Actually, the French house was the biggest house we ever lived in our travels.
It was a mansion.
It was a big house. Dinner is served. Pretty simple.
It rips.
Sausage, salad, and sweet potatoes. It's all S's.
Okay, we just had dinner with the family, and when we went back to the house, it was like,
Oh, we went back to the big house.
yeah, like we're crazy. So now we're gonna head over to the house just for a little bit, probably an hour, just so that we can think about some things again and wrap our heads around it. And there's some parts that are fun because it's a challenge and it's like it's a good reset to get, you know, to simplify. And because when you have a big house, a lot of the times you like the space, but also you just feel the space. We were talking with the kids at dinner about how most of the world, even the wealthy, don't live in big houses. That's definitely a very American thing to do. We do in America tend to live in bigger homes on average than most people in the world. And how it's not really, so when we think you have to, it's like, that's not true. Well, and all of our grandparents had huge families here in the US and would live at 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, crazy to all of us, but they did.
We're in the house. We've been taking measurements. You can't really see, it's kind of dark in here. But drawing out kind of what the footprint's gonna be for the living area over here.
Once it's all open.
And once it's opened up, and then out here. Because we don't know exactly how to fit things. We realized that the kitchen as it sits right now just won't work. A big part of it is food storage. And I just, not food storage like for a year, I'm talking about just putting food somewhere. There just aren't enough cabinets. There's no pantry, that doesn't exist right now, and won't really. So we were trying to figure out where to put food, and then also how we would fit our furniture here in this front room, with a couple couches and a TV basically. And also, this is not the end all be all design. This is just so we can fit in the house as it is, as far as the footprint goes, and as far as not adding any rooms. So we're trying to work out like, how much can you do that isn't too much and too expensive right now.
Like, what is your baseline?
But, yeah.
You can live, well, I mean, obviously you could live in a tent if you needed to, but like,
Yeah.
there's like this give and take of like, that would be very, very uncomfortable versus like, okay, that would make it a lot more comfortable for not too much money.
Okay, it's the next day. We didn't do much last night, but we are continuing with some of these projects today.
And freaking out.
And freaking out a little bit about this potentially moving into the other house. And
Which is a third of the size of this house about?
yeah.
Almost.
I
woke up like...
It's kind of like when we were moving into the RV and we freaked out every day about doing that because we realized how crazy that was and how difficult it was going to be. So it's kind of like that, but that worked out all right.
We talked to the realtor. It looks like they'll probably let us out of our lease.
The realtor is the landlord works through a leasing agent.
I have to keep reminding myself of all the smaller places we've lived, all the places that are about that size that were comfortable.
But my biggest issue right now is all this stuff and all this stuff over there. Because that house has no garage, no shop space of any kind. So we have to figure out, I think we got to get like another little building, like a tough shed sort of thing to put in the backyard. So we have, or we might have to get a storage unit in the meantime. Anyways, that's my biggest concern is where to put all the stuff that's in the garages plural, into a home that has zero garage. It does have a carport, but that's about it. So we're waiting to see what their timing is, what the owner wants to do with the house, when they want to list it, and when they would want us out. We were hoping to do at least get that wall removed that we talked about, and then move in. But if they want to list it and want us out, which is possible by the end of this month, which is June, then we would have to, we just have to figure it out. But that would it would be good because they would let us out of the lease and there wouldn't be any penalties. And yeah, but we have lots of stuff and I don't know what to do with all of it. So we'll see.
Well, I got to finish some projects so I can get them out.
Well, yeah, we need to get stuff out of here. Megan's parents are actually coming to visit today from Texas. Oh, you're calling your sister?
She's trying to FaceTime me.
Okay, so Megan's parents are coming in from out of town, so they're going to be here for the next few days. Megan's mom is actually putting some of her... Megan's mom is also an artist like Megan, so Megan takes after her mother. She has some stuff that actually Megan's going to put in her shop. And they're going to kind of collaborate on that a little bit. So they'll be here for the next few days. So I don't know how much we'll record after today because when we have people over and family or friends, we don't actually record that much because we feel bad putting other people on camera who aren't used to it or maybe don't really want to be. And then it's hard to record and avoid, other people that are there. So we'll probably finish this video today and we'll skip the next few days while they're here. So we'll just see what happens today. We're going to move some furniture around. Probably send the boy, Elijah and Andrew have been over at the house painting. I think they're going to go over and do some more painting today. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. All right, it's now the next day. Megan's parents came as promised, and we pretty much turned the camera off, or completely did. But so the saga of figuring out what to do with our current house and our two-house situation continues. We talked to our landlord and, talked to the representative of the landlord, and they were pretty happy about that because right now the real estate market in this area is quite busy and they want to sell their house, actually. And we're not prepared to buy that house right now. And obviously we're talking about moving into the other house in town. And so they said, great. You can move out, we'll list it, and we'll release you from your contract. So that's pretty awesome. Also a little scary though, because we realized that there's obviously a lot of work to be done at that house to make to make it ready for us. And one of the big issues was that we have, as you've seen, we have 2 garages right now that we are occupying for our workshops or workshop. And that house has 0 workshop and 0 garage space. And we'd be moving out at the end of this month, which is June. Today's June 4th. I'm not sure when this is going to be posted, but hopefully pretty soon. And so we didn't know how we would possibly create the space we need to work and do the furniture stuff. And also just where we'd put all the tools and everything, because there's no storage over this other house, the new house. And that was one of our biggest mental stumbling blocks to do it. So I this morning got online and started looking at storage units that let you maybe work there and spaces that are available, and kind of saw a couple options there, because there's no way we can build a structure soon enough to work. And then Megan was actually over at the house and saw a sign for a utility building that is literally 3 doors down or 2 doors down from the house, or the house we own. And it's right here.
You know what else?
Check this out.
Look at this. RV parking. We could park our RV here.
We'd have to ask him.
No, you get the whole property. Nobody would see it. Just pull it in, dude.
Maybe that's true. Anyways, we just came in. I'm going to turn this around, because it turns out that this space is perfect for what we'd want. And it's within a 30-second walk of our house. You can see it from our house. So let me show you this. It's pretty awesome.
It's just like one of those
So
things,
this is it.
one of those things where you feel like, I've always looked at this building and always thought it was really cool, and you feel like,
No, so we've
one of those
seen
things where everything comes together and you feel kind of like somebody's watching out for you, you know?
what Megan is saying is we've actually seen this building here, because if you didn't know it, we lived in this area previously, 3 years ago. We lived actually in the neighborhood that's just behind us before, and we always saw this building and the house it's on the same kind of property. We knew it was here, and always thought it was kind of cool looking. Anyway, and then you fast forward to today, and it's available for rent by the person who owns this house. He kind of owns both lots, and it's a perfect workshop for what we're wanting to do, and store, and it's pretty awesome.
So you actually also get this beautiful piece of property with it?
Yeah, we get this.
ground?
I think
That's what he said.
he said you get the lot with it. You can see right there the street's over there, right there.
Our house is right there.
This will be gone, but this is the shop.
It can be so
And this is a huge. Well, I think this is the way we're going to do it. We would rent this place, which actually per square foot is cheaper than doing just a storage unit.
It's bigger than our house.
And it's bigger than the house we're going to be moving into square footage wise. Right now, all this will be gone, because he has a carpenter that's been in here building things.
How cool is this?
But check this out.
It is so cool. We could paint. We could make it this amazing art studio that I've dreamed about having for our family for so long. I've imagined this very thing with the big windows. I'm how do you build something that looks old and have all that texture?
It already is old.
It's so amazing. I would want this for decades. It's so cool, and it's so perfect. The kids we can have almost a little living room area. The kids could have their games with their friends here, because it's so close. You just walk over here. And then we can have all sorts of art projects we're working on, just anything. If you want to fix something on the RV can be right there. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. So it's pretty much
A dream.
It doesn't get much better than this. It's got these really big windows. You can open up the front door, the back door. There's a really big front door right there. The window's open. It's cinder block, so it's actually pretty cool in here right now, temperature-wise. And there's actually there's a big attic space up here where a lot of heat's going. So that was another issue I had with the garage. It was actually pretty hot, and it was hard to keep it.
The garage is connected to the house.
Anyhow, so this basically adds 1,600 square feet to a home that's right now 1,300 square feet, but without paying for a whole house.
It's so cool. The kids are going to be so excited.
The landlord showed us around. He had to run, but he let us. Basically, he's going to be our neighbor too, so that's kind of fun. We got to meet one of our neighbors.
It's so cool. They're going to love it. And at night, the ambiance of all of these lights, the kids are going to They're gonna go
And
nuts.
he said it was okay for the kids to be over here. We actually asked that pretty
Yeah, we said
early
our
in the
kids would be
conversation.
back and forth all the time. He's like, fine. He just didn't want like real heavy equipment.
He doesn't
like
want like
people
crews
bringing,
in here, like large amounts of people.
making noise.
Now we didn't mention it was 9 kids, but
Oh, it doesn't matter.
so this, I think this is actually, we hadn't actually said for sure to the landlord that we did want to move, excuse me, this month, but I think this might clinch it.
Because even
And
if
make
the
it
house
possible.
is ready, we can move so much of our stuff into here,
Yeah.
and then
No, this is so much cheaper than getting a storage unit and so much more useful to
Yeah,
us.
it's so fun.
So we're both
Perfect.
pretty excited about this.
What we really would love too is if over time, like not only if we could get this working, but to actually put a toilet in here.
Oh, maybe. So this is a little, there's no water to it right now. That's the only issue.
Well, there is water to it, but it's turned off because there's a leak on the line.
Right.
So we talked to him, and he's willing to talk about getting that fixed. I've always dreamed of having a studio space like this. It is like so exciting and magical. I can't even imagine. You could teach classes in here, like cool stuff, you know?
Like classes on geography and stuff like that? Math classes?
No, but like if you wanted to do like a group class on anything,
Yeah.
you could have it here and we would paint it and make it so cool.
Do you think, you think he'd allow us to paint the
He said it,
walls?
but I asked, could we paint? He's like, oh yeah, I don't care.
Oh, I thought you were asking if we could actually paint inside of here. Like
Now I was
paint.
asking if we could paint. I mean, it's pretty cool, but I would do murals.
Okay, well we should
Oh, gosh,
we
it's gonna be
should
amazing.
verify all that,
No,
but
he doesn't care. He was totally like, yeah,
okay, well, pretty exciting stuff. So
I'm in. I'm doing it.
I think this means that we are indeed moving out of our big house to the little house at the end of this month. We're supposed to be out by the 30th of June.
Sorry
So-
for talking. I just saw a pretty cardinal.
Megan can't help it, but if she notices a pretty bird. So I think it's actually happening.
We're gonna do it.
Within we made this,
2 days.
we kind of came up with this idea a couple days ago, like, why don't we just move into the old house, saves us some money, and we can just work on it over time.
Well, it's not like we didn't. What was happening is we were wrestling with all of these things that we couldn't, like a puzzle, and we were just wrestling for like 8 months now.
Of how to, since we bought it in
Well,
November.
even before we bought it, right? Since last August when we put the offer on it, like how are we going to make this work? And so we have just not been able to find that missing piece that makes it all work. And then 2 days ago, it was like, you know what? Let's just do this. But then it was like, but still, there's this over here, and then this just completed it all.
Yeah. So I think that's funny. That's
It's not
kind
like
of
we made the decision in like that. It's
no.
like
We've been thinking about it for a
finished
long
the
time.
decision.
It's just it's kind of quickly how the pieces come together, and also it's funny how we kind of decided without knowing how it was going to work out and how we're going to move forward. But we sort of said maybe we at least should explore it. So like we called the landlord and said, "What do you think? Is there a way we could get out of the lease early?" And we started looking into options, and then the solution sort of presents itself. Like we had no idea the landlord would want to sell their house. And we also didn't really know this was going to be available. So that's kind of it's a little bit of a window into how we operate, is we sometimes we move forward without knowing how things are going to work out, and then things just
appear.
sort of happen.
Well, and things that you didn't, if you hadn't
You wouldn't
started
have,
moving forward.
you wouldn't have figured out, because you would say, no, what do you mean? We're committed to this thing till February. There's no way. Or
is so cool in
there's
here.
there's nowhere we can put our tools, so we can't move in that house yet.
This is the coolest studio.
Megan's more excited about this than the actual house that we own.
Well, I already had all my excitement about
Yeah, we have that. We've got that all worked out. Anyhow, so it looks like we're moving, and the kids are excited. Obviously,
They're gonna be so excited about this.
they're going to be excited by this. And also, what's really cool is through this property, you can access the other part of town, which was basically inaccessible before because it was a busy road and you couldn't get
And a
to it
little train bridge and-
without crossing like a kind of a dangerous road. But if you can walk through this property, which we'll have access to now, they can get
There's a
to that
little
part of
path
town.
that goes to the parking lot of a bicycle shop, and now they're in this because there's two towns.
Yeah.
Now they're in the other downtown area that has all sidewalks. It's all safe because the two towns weren't connected by sidewalk.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, there's so
There
many
was
fun
this-
things. There's an ice cream shop where Esther's work down there, and now they can walk to it safely.
I know.
It's crazy.
So that's actually another huge part.
You may not believe in God, but these are the moments that we see as little tender mercies or little nods from the Lord of like, dude, I got you. It'll all work out. I promise. I've thought of all of the things that you've thought of and more. Just keep going, following your heart, and you feel very loved. I'm gonna cry, but you feel very loved because He doesn't only want you to be safe and have enough. He also wants you to have joy, and that makes me really happy.
I think with that, we're gonna end today's video. So stay tuned. We are going to be we're gonna be moving. We're gonna be doing painting and some improvements of the house before we move in. We're hoping we can get the wall removed like we've talked about before we can move in, but they may not be possible because framers are super busy right now with building and that sort of thing. Anyhow, now begins the fun of moving and but still operating our furniture business and all that stuff. So like, comment, subscribe, go to northandsouth.com, and we'll see you later. Bye.